How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the CSPN podcast, your podcast for all things Chaminade. In this episode, we got a special guest with us. He is the varsity basketball manager. It's his second year, I believe, doing it. Fourth year. He's a 4-year manager. He's also a sweetheart in the senior class. Goes by the nickname Big Booty. Give it up, guys, for Owen Boyette.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here and join you guys on this fine Thursday afternoon, one of the last weeks of February.
So are you blowing off basketball practice to be here with us today?
I'm doing a little bit of both.
Okay.
Blowing off, a little sticking the course.
Yeah, sometimes you got to blow it off, man. But, I mean, I think you're a senior. You're a big boy. I think Coach Bennett realizes. I know. You may have skipped a few Saturday practices this year, maybe one or two.
He can relate to the media obligations that some of the star players and managers have.
Yeah, I mean, you got to live a little bit, right?
The show must go on.
The show must go on. So yeah, speaking of Coach Bennett, how's it been this year with the basketball team? Like, the procedures you guys have taken and stuff.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Coach Bennett is still quite a dude. He loves coaching, and you can tell that he finds more joy in coaching guys and teaching them the game, but more than that, teaching them about life and how that overcoming adversity on the court as a team is going to translate to their life down the line. And I think especially now there's so many things that we as high schoolers and those players especially have to overcome, and that I think he's found a lot of joy and ability to coach and show them that it's a great opportunity to overcome battle adversity and learn from it.
One thing about Coach Bennett is he's a winner, and he has a drive like no other. And, yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with that more. I'm sure you have a lot more experience than I do. But
yeah, I think not only is he trying to win a basketball game, but he's trying to help his players win in the game of life. But maybe winning isn't the best term. He's trying to help his players be the best people they can be. He takes so much more pride in that than he does in, McDonald's All-Americans or, anything like that. He really just wants to produce quality men more than he cares about anything else.
So,
game of life, great board game. Love it.
So kind of like being a father figure to them and, like, kind of trying to show them their way through high school. And because, high school is rough for some people. Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to speak for anyone and say the role he plays, but I know for me at least, I think I've taken a lot out of what he said and applied it to my own life, whether it be in football, water polo, or the relationships I have with people. So, yeah, I think that he's doing so much more than X's and O's.
Yeah, I remember freshman year when I came here, and I think I was like shadowing, and this is when I was super into basketball. So me and my mom came, and my mom was talking to me about how much I wanted to do basketball, and he sat there and talked to me for like 30 minutes and just like made me feel like comfortable at the school and told me, it's a really good program and he'd love to have, new people there and all that stuff. So he just makes you feel comfortable, I think, at the school.
So, OB, Kevin and I have experienced basketball games in the student section, but what's it like on the sideline, or on the bench, rather?
Being on the bench, I'm just going to talk about with no COVID, just the first 3 years.
Mask-free,
tight. You're shoulder to shoulder. It's one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in my life. Some of the most electric moments I've had in my life. I think about our game versus Sean at the Webster Groves with the Midwest Showdown, where it's a packed gym. I want to say there was over 5,000 people there, and every single dribble, every single shot is everyone's waiting with bated breath to see what happens. You talk about the Belleville East Chick-fil-A Classic against Belleville West in the championship game against TJ Liddell and those guys. You have basically a whole town turn out to see Belleville West beat Chaminade, because they all, this old guy was like, at least we don't, pay our players to come play for us, you know what I'm saying? And it's silly, but it seems those cool moments of so many people turn out, because so many people love high school sports,
mm-hmm.
and so many people, especially in St. Louis, love high school basketball. So it's been one of the greatest opportunities I've ever had, and I could go on and on about other games and other teams, but those couple stick out to me.
One thing I did wish I saw was you coming off the bench senior night. I know we had talked about you maybe.
I was disappointed.
Maybe suiting up a little bit, but what was your reasoning for not asking coach?
Well, I was never asked, and I'm not the type of person to ask to do that myself.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But also, I don't particularly enjoy playing basketball. It's just not my role. I don't. I love being on the bench. I love watching the guys, and maybe if anything, I'd be a guest coach. But playing is just not my thing.
Cooper Bennett just joined us,
Yeah.
folks.
Sorry to interrupt.
We got a packed house today.
4 people on the podcast. Yeah, Cooper was at a golf.
How we
meeting,
doing, guys?
Golf meeting, so he's just joining us. But anyway, yeah. So Owen, building off of that, what you're saying, like now with COVID, you can't be packed together, can't really be as tight as a team. So what have you guys done in order to kind of still have team spirit and do stuff together? Having to be 6 feet apart with masks.
Yeah, it sucks. But I think luckily the most important thing is we get to be together every single practice. We get to still meet, still get to be the team that we enjoy. Now in the past, we've gotten to go on team dining experiences. I think we saw the Black Panther when that came out. We all as a team, we went to what was it, Potbelly sandwiches before, and then we went and watched the movie. There's been bowling nights. Last year during the NBA All-Star game, we went to Luke Kazuki's house, and they hosted the whole team. We had a whole bunch of food and pizza and whatnot, and watched not Brad Beal, just Jason Tatum play. So
Should have been Brad Beal as well. He got snubbed.
He did get snubbed.
So that aspect is gone, but the group is still as tight as ever. And I mean, all those guys, I think that they're really close on and off the court. They've grown up together. Certainly the junior class has grown up playing probably since they were in elementary school. So the bonds are there, and whether you're masked up and 6 feet apart or you're tight in the huddle, sweating all over each other, that relationship isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I was kind of going to say something about that too. Is it seems like while being at the games, there's this certain feel you feel with these great teams, and there's this spark there this year that you know when it's there, and it's cool to see even when they're all underclassmen and maybe not as old. I mean, it's just really cool to see that out of the team.
Yeah, it's different. I think the way they play is really fantastic, and not to rip on any of the past year's teams, but I think this year they're playing at such an elite level, and they're really talented players. But more than that, they're executing the offense the way that it's supposed to be run, running so much off-ball movement and trying to get guys open and trying to score as a team and not just as a player. So I think it's kind of refreshing to watch, and it's hard for other teams there to keep up, whether it's in transition or the half court. It's reminds me of my freshman year team, 2017-2018.
That was a great team.
It's a lot closer to that than it was the past 2 years, and they're getting out in transition or they're feeding it down low. It's just a higher level of basketball than we've gotten to see in the past 2 years.
Very disciplined and very unselfish for sure. It helps when you have all the shooters we have. That's definitely one thing I've realized is how good the ball movement is, and I just feel like a lot of times it's very easy for a really good player just to take a shot and rather than pass the ball, and I feel like that's not really the case with this team, and that's partly what has led to our success. And
that kind of helps build into our next thing is with obviously this year we have a top 100 player, Terrace, and so what is having a guy like him, but then also having shooters on the team. You got Damian, you got Nate. What's the game plan going into games? Obviously he can body anyone down low, but then you got people outside.
Yeah, Terrace is, first of all, he's one of the funniest dudes I think at the school. He's 6'10", and I don't know how much he weighs, like 235, and he has no idea how big he is. He is just this goofy, funny, silly dude. I don't know if he's still in the band, but he was in the band. I know he's talked to us the other day. He loves to play music. He's just
plays the flute.
Is that what he plays?
No.
That'd be hilarious.
The bongo.
Yeah.
No, but Terrace is he's really a great guy. But as far as basketball, yeah, it's great because he is so unselfish. He's willing to get the ball, post up, and if the look's not there, he's going to kick out to the open shooter. He's going to knock down a three. And on the flip side, open shooters, guys in the wing, I've been asked to and are willingly feeding the post to get Terrace the ball to score because while on the box score, it looks like it's just Terrace Reed, quote-unquote, who's scoring the points at Chaminade's points, and it's leading to Chaminade wins. So it's having that unselfishness and that idea that we're going to do what's going to help the team win just because it makes one person look good. Well, hey, you know what? that's gonna put us on top, and that's what we need.
I think the offense just flows so well when you get it into the post. That's what sets up our offense this year. No matter if Terrace is shooting or not, because he's developed that great post game. But just him being able to kick out to open shooters when they double the post and off-ball movement has really led to the success so far. It's just ran through Terrace pretty much, which is not a bad thing.
I couldn't agree more. That off-ball movement combined with Terrace's willingness to kick the ball out is probably why we're 16-1 right now. He's unselfish with the basketball, but at the same time, he knows when to put his shoulder down, go to the basket, and score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another thing that I think is hilarious. I was talking to Mark about this earlier, like on a recent podcast, about I think there's been one time every single game where a player's gone up for a layup, and then there's just like a communal moment in the air where Terrace is looking down at them with his hand in the air, and then the guy's up like with the ball, and he just knows what's coming, and Terrace just swats it away. And
just ends the
ends the guy's career. I don't know. I think that's pretty funny to watch. And then he just kind of walks back like, yeah, I just did that, you know.
Yeah, I think you've seen an increase in his defense. He, definitely his freshman year, sophomore year, I think he was a little more tentative. He wanted to stay out of foul trouble, and now he's timing the ball much better, and he's asserting himself. Guys are less and less coming into the paint, or if they are, I have no idea why, because he is swatting pretty much everything. And with a guy like that, not only is he physically keeping the ball at the rim, but he's going to stop people from wanting to drive in and taking high percentage shots. So yeah, his development on the defensive end is probably more important than anything else.
So this year with COVID and everything, I know it's been a much more stressful year. You know, you guys haven't gotten to do a lot of stuff they usually do. So what would winning a state championship mean to this team this year? Like, how important do you think that is?
Well, I think to this team particularly, you have a lot of returning guys from last year. Off the top of my head, I think it's 8 or 9 guys that were all in last year's Final Four team that beat Melville at Francis House Central. And then I think it was a Saturday, and then that next Monday we got the call that the Final Four is over. So I think for them it would be kind of a redemption story, and it would just mean so much because they worked so hard last year to finally get into a groove and to get to the Final Four. And then this year, they're able to finish what they started. And, I mean, ultimately, their whole goal is winning. And that's all they care about. And so it would just mean the world to them.
So are there any questions that were asked for Owen from people?
Let's see.
I remember we asked for questions, but
So Max Wolke asked 2 questions. So the first one is, we can give this to you, OB. It was, so what are you guys thinking about the basketball playoffs? So we kind of have gone over this, but
yeah. So I think the district tournament starts next week. Our district is Ladue, CBC, Kirkwood, Webster Groves, and ourselves.
Yet again, another stacked district.
Yeah.
Always
for the Catholic schools.
Always make it hard for us.
So, I mean, a very difficult district, and I think we've already beaten Webster Groves once. We beat CBC once. We play them again tomorrow night. And I think that, not to be braggadocious, but getting out of that district pretty much is the hardest thing we're going to do on this, all the way into the Final Four.
It's that trend every year, it seems like, for Chaminade sports. in every sport, almost. It's these stacked MCC districts, and getting out is the hardest part.
Yeah. I mean, you could certainly make that argument in soccer. I don't know about as much football, but certainly soccer and basketball is getting out of that cutthroat district. And then I think sectionals were slated to play like Lindbergh, Eureka, Marquette, Lafayette, one of those West County schools. Well, Lindbergh, South County. And then it'll move on to the quarterfinals, which would be like Jackson, Poplar Bluff, those type of schools. So I think the more you leave St. Louis City and County, the lower the quality of basketball. So to answer Max's question, the playoffs look very good.
Kansas City, too. Don't forget about Kansas City. They always have
Kansas City's struggling this year, but Springfield, Missouri has some fantastic.
Kickapoo's pretty good.
Kickapoo's very good. Yeah. Greenwood's good. Has Aminu Muhammad, who's top 20 nationally ranked.
Sick name.
Who's going to Mizzou.
What was the name?
Aminu Muhammad.
All right. That's a cool name.
Hartville's beating both those teams. Logan Rogersville, that's where Jonathan Dunn is at.
Jonathan!
So,
I thought he said Hazelwood.
I think he transferred there and then reclassified. I don't want to speak for him, but if I had to guess, it was Hazelwood wasn't going to start their season right until midway through the semester.
Need someone to
And
deal with
as a
that.
senior, you don't want to lose a whole semester. So I don't want to speak for him, but that logically makes sense to myself.
The Chaminade senior Charlie Reed reclassified last year, so that was always good. So the next question. So again, folks, you can
Shout out Charlie Reed.
So on
The Ginger
Wednesday
Ninja.
night, I generally put up a story for the podcast where you can ask questions, and this is what segment we're on. I forgot to introduce
Yeah,
that.
make sure you're following the Instagram too.
Yes. CSPN
CSPN
podcast. It's run by Cooper, Kevin, and I.
Mark puts out very quality material.
I
But-
love
Yeah, where do you find those?
what
Those videos? Like, where do
they're
you find those?
my imagination.
No, but like I've tried to look up videos like that.
No,
I just
you
can't
just
find them.
I just have like a bank of like stupid memes in my brain that I pull.
Oh,
from
so you
YouTube.
make the memes yourself?
Well, some like the one I like this one like the how talking about sports gambling is carrying the CSPN podcast, and then Cooper, Kevin, and Mark are in the corner just like in awe.
We'll try
I
not to
created
talk
that
about
one,
that.
but
We'll try not to talk about sports.
It's also
Yeah,
banned
today.
in that black
we
class,
got to bring
too.
it up at least once.
At least once. It'll come up.
So Harrison Cross, HC had a question. I'm gonna let Cooper take one. So we had a similar question last week, but Cooper wasn't here, so we'll do it again. He goes, "We thinking Chaminade is winning a state golf title."
I think HC would be the only thing stopping us. I mean,
Where's he go?
He goes to Marquette.
Okay.
Bubba Cray,
I mean, man,
Mazzola.
he doesn't play anymore. But he doesn't play
Okay,
golf.
well, talking about Leonard Broker.
Yeah, no,
and,
they're solid. I would say they're the best team in St.
Really?
Louis, other than us. I mean, they
Wow.
were last year. They lost a senior who would have been good last year, but they will probably give us the best run this year, I'd imagine. And they won't be in our district, but they'll be in our section, I'd imagine. They're solid though, so
Forest Hill
we may
boys.
not see them till state either. Yeah, but it's all Chesterfield, Forest Hills boys, so
Yep.
they're gonna be solid. HC, I mean, watch out for that man. Shout out HC if he's listening.
Worked with HC.
Did you?
Meadowbrook Country Club. He worked in the bag room. I worked as a lifeguard. Bobby Whiting, Ryan Walsh, Cole Velhurst also all worked there.
Those are all the Forest Hills boys that go to Chaminade, so they know what's up.
So and then I forgot to mention Wolke's second comment. He says also post a pic of the new gym on the Instagram. So we'll do that later.
Yeah, we can post. I don't know if we're allowed to. I'm sure we're allowed to do that.
I mean, it's pretty public, don't you think?
yeah, we'll post a link or something.
Yeah.
To the video.
Is
Have
there
you
a
seen
new
it,
picture?
Owen? Have you seen the
Is it
video?
an old picture?
No, there's a video of the new gym.
Let me see it.
I think it'll be public knowledge. I think
Yeah,
we
we'll
can-
be
You
fine.
think
Show
it's
me the
public?
video and I'll live react to it.
You wanna see it? All right.
Here, okay.
I'll
we'll,
live read
we'll
it.
get to our next. We'll do
You
our
ask the
next
question, I'll
so
pull it up. Yeah.
Okay, so Nick White asks, "Bitcoin to the moon?" Question mark. What
To
are
the
you-
moon!
What are your thoughts on that one,
Oh, I'm gonna
folks?
stay out of this one.
All right, we're gonna.
To the moon.
All right, so here was actually a one from Ryan Deering that I really liked that I think me and Obi will get a kick out of. I'll let you answer this one first. So, do you have a greatest football practice, or like moment or memory?
Yeah, I do have a greatest football memory. It was after we. No, I don't. I do not
All right,
have a
do you have
greatest.
do you have memories?
Yeah.
A single
give us a
memory.
little sprinkle.
Well, anytime you get Coach Torrey riled up on an MCC
Yeah.
game, you get a
Oh.
lot of passion out of him. And
You do.
just as much as I love Coach Bennett, Coach Torrey is also that guy. So hearing how much he cares about us and cares about, us winning, it's almost brings a tear to your eye. He is.
I almost brought a tear to Coach Torrey's eye.
Yeah.
when you laid the wood.
Well, yeah, for a number of reasons, but
Lacrosse season.
I mean, yeah, there's been
I remember
lots
that.
of great practices.
Here comes our live
All right,
reaction.
here
Here's our
comes the
live reaction
video.
to the-
I'll
to the
fast
gym.
forward to like this part. I mean, this is the outside, so this part doesn't really matter.
we're getting a live reaction here from Owen Boyette.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. All right.
Do you feel like it's the first time you saw your child?
All right. Oh, I wish we had a TV or something
Oh,
so
here
we
we
could
go.
show all
All
you
right.
guys, but Owen's reacting to it.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of Lindenwood a little bit, but very close to the rendering that was in like STL today.
Yeah.
About a year ago.
Pretty incredible.
I will admit, I'm a little disappointed with like the
Seating.
seating.
Yeah, I agree.
And also, I thought they were gonna make like a conference booth for like CSPN and stuff, but maybe that's just not in this.
You can always add it on.
Yeah.
I think there's the appropriation of budgeting was a bit of an issue from what I heard.
Well, it's an expensive stadium.
pretty insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, it really
It's
just.
really
I mean,
cool.
it's really cool. It reminds me a lot of Lindenwood.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Too.
But I mean, it's certainly going to be the
best gym in
best gym in St. Louis.
Yeah.
It'll be the standard for all high school gyms here for sure.
I mean, you're not going to get any better than that. I mean, can you just imagine what a packed Friday night game against like CBC?
a little bit like SLU too, a little bit actually on the inside.
Yeah,
The
it's
seating and it's kind of a similar feel and
It's
look.
got a little bit of slew to it.
The funniest part is that SLU's seats like 1,090 and our seats 1,100. So like we just won up SLU.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what we do, baby.
I mean, I'd have to imagine it's going to be a hard ticket to get for your first. I mean, I bet every game's sold out.
Yeah.
Oh, hands down.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
wonder if it'll be
if
hard.
it's open next year, I mean, they're not going to play that many games. I don't know.
Coming off COVID
And
too.
Terrace is a
I
senior
don't know if
with
it's public
Damien.
information, but the limited amount of St. Louis games they're going to play next year, that's going to be a hard ticket to get.
You're saying it's gonna be. they're not
I
gonna-
mean, if that gym's built by the time basketball season starts, and they're Chaminade's ready to have full capacity, I mean, people are gonna be lining up and down, up and down Chaminade, down Cemetery Lane, maybe the day before because.
The day before?
no
I
way.
would- Well, I'm telling you,
When we get tense?
Maybe a few hours before.
Well, when we play CBC next
This isn't
year,
the new
you're gonna
Xbox drive.
You're gonna have Larry Hughes, Robert Martin versus Terrace Reed, Damian Mayo, and
That's
the rest
true.
of those guys, and they're all gonna be seniors.
That is true.
And I mean, it's gonna be fun. So
Were the games for Tatum that anticipated?
oh yeah,
Like people would camp
people.
out. Like,
I've heard that. You'd be a senior, and you'd leave at ACK Lab and last block of the day, and you'd have people waiting all down, Jurgens outside,
That's
trying to get a
nuts.
ticket. And that on top of the new gym, on top of, I think the rise of social media is just it's a hype machine, and
yeah.
I mean 1,100. It seems like a lot, but
It's really not.
It's really not.
Yeah. Because Lindenwood seats what?
I don't know.
Imagine all the students. I mean, the students that come too. It's a lot of students.
It's a lot of students, but I mean it's a lot of community support.
Alumni.
It's alumni. People love high school basketball,
Yep.
Yeah.
especially in St. Louis. People love any MCC sport.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're gonna have to move on real quick.
Let me
Do
get-
you have
can I-
another question?
Well, I wanted to give my answer to Deeran's question.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So I have a number of memories. It's kind of hard to pinpoint one, but I'm just going to share like one or two with you guys. So first off is freshman year during JV practice. So we were doing this drill where Coach Kimbara would either throw up a ball and you were supposed to like pick it off, or he would throw the ball at the ground and you're supposed to scoop it and score. And so you were either getting an interception or a fumble. And so we would all do it, get into the end zone, and then start celebrating. And I think Ryan King was like one of the last ones to go.
Yeah, he may have been the last one.
And I don't remember exactly if it was a pick or a fumble. That's besides the point. He gets the ball, runs across the end zone,
Randy
proceeds
Moss,
to Randy Moss, except for he actually, the Randy Moss celebration where he was acting as if he was mooning the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Except Ryan King actually pulled
Oh,
down
God.
his football
Oh
pants.
god.
And he still had his girdle on. There was no
Pre-frontal.
PN, public nudity,
No
but
cheeks or anything.
that was all time
It's funny.
one of the funniest moments of football. And
was he
then,
running laps after that?
I don't remember.
We all
They
did.
were pretty.
We all
Oh
did.
yeah, we did. The whole team got punched. That's kind of how football rolls. Is if somebody
Yeah.
one person screws up, everybody does. And another one would be probably, I don't know if you remember this, but earlier this year, so it was just like early in the year, we had just started hitting, and I'm sort of a scout team hero. That's kind of what I've been known as. I like to go hard on the scout team because I like to give the first team reps.
Yeah.
And so there was one day in particular where it was definitely Jake Ortiz and I believe it was Andrew Vitale. They were the guards that day, and I played linebacker on the scout team, and I wanted to give him a good rep. Ortiz, Meatball, and I, we were going at it, and there was one. And mind you, I'm 5'6" and 170 pounds soaking wet. Jake Ortiz is what, 240, 250?
5'4" with all the leverage.
With all the leverage in the world. So there was this one particular play where I came at Ortiz hard, and of course it didn't do much because he's a monster human being. But Ortiz proceeded to do the lineman sit and just put all his body weight on top of me.
God.
Well, I'm splayed out full eagle trying to like punch him because we're pretty pissed. I mean, it was a friendly fight. Like we weren't actually fighting, but anyways, yeah, it was just all the coaches were freaking out and like we were getting at it. Next day, I come to practice and Coach Troy looks at me and goes, "Mark Scott, you're a goon. I love you for that." And I will never forget that. That was awesome.
That's funny. Well, yeah, football sounds like a good brotherhood. I kind of wish I played. But anyway, we got another question. This one's from Chancellor Point, and this one this is a great question. What is the worst all-around sport at Chaminade and why?
Like performance-wise or what?
Just the worst.
Yeah,
just
I don't
the
even
worst
know.
sport.
Yeah,
No, well, it's not like you're saying like it's a bad sport, but like why do you think it's like you wouldn't play it? I guess that's what he's asking.
I mean, probably like track or cross country, just because
I don't want to run.
I don't want to competitively run. But I mean, that's just how I feel. I'm sure I know Conrad Hogenkamp loves it, and that's just not my thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
I don't
what
want to dog.
Well, you're not
dog.
You're not dogging any sport though. You're just saying like I don't
guess
like
it's
it
personal
because I don't
preference.
want to cross country is one of the hardest sports out there, and that's why I hate it because it's like I can't run that long, so I would hate it. But I like kids like Conrad and Kenneth Hamill and those guys are absolute beasts.
Dude, the shin splints have to be brutal.
Oh my god, it has to be awful.
And in the hot weather too, like that time of year when they do cross country. Oh.
Well, and once you get them, you can't just say like, okay, I'm going to stop running for 3 weeks because you're in the middle of competition. So it's like, I just got to run through these things because I got them during football and it was brutal. I can only imagine.
Yeah. Not to dog anyone, but I was pretty disappointed in our hockey team.
I was as well, but
Young, not from young team. They have a lot of sophomores and juniors. So.
I mean, it seems like our goalie's pretty cold.
Yeah, we'll see though.
What grade is he in?
Sophomore.
Wow.
no.
Young
Okay.
team.
Make sure you guys send in more questions for next week. We'll answer more next week at CSPN podcast on Instagram.
Yep.
So make sure keep sending them in. We'll try to get to as many as we can every time.
That's right. So do you guys have anything else left to say?
I'll just say, how spring sports start March 1st.
Oh,
Snow
my-
on the ground right now. It's gonna be
Yeah.
tough for
Yeah, dude.
baseball, golf.
I mean, rugby.
lacrosse.
Rugby has had I've probably been to 4 rugby practices.
Aren't you guys like indoor today or something?
Yeah,
too?
we're doing the wrestling room because we
Yeah.
can't really do it in the snow. So
Yeah, but it's got to start melting here. Pray for warm weather, everybody.
it's a mess, folks.
Spring sports should be fun.
2 snow days this week.
Good
2
golf
rugby
team.
players here. We got a golf player. Kevin playing any spring sports?
Got a sports enthusiast here.
I don't play rugby.
We have to broadcast. Oh, you're not playing rugby?
No.
I'll tell you what.
I'll be broadcasting most of the sports though. I'll be broadcasting
I'll do
lacrosse.
baseball with you for sure.
I'll be doing baseball,
Are
lacrosse.
they broadcasting baseball?
Yeah.
I want to figure out a way to do golf. Like if we can get a little
That'd be
That
sick.
would be
a
awesome.
little travel cam,
Yeah.
like a guy with a hat
Give
or
me your best
something.
strike 3 call. Here, Mark.
All right.
Me?
Get up. You're gonna be the catcher. I'm gonna be the
I'll be
umpire,
a-
and you're gonna announce the
I'll be a
strike
stood
3.
up.
All right.
No, you're right here.
All right. Here comes
Oh,
the pitch.
All right.
The 1-2 pitch from Weber. Here we go. And it's a strike 3 call on the outside corner. That's Weber's 6th strikeout of the night. And they are feeling it out here. The Red Devils are absolutely rolling. I think I'm a
That
natural.
was really
I'm
good.
gonna-
That was really good.
It's going. It's a dog. It's over the fence, folks. 3-run home run, folks. 3-0 Chaminade.
Get up, baby. Get up.
Chaminade baseball may be the most electric broadcasting sport this year.
Oh, we gotta pack the sack.
The side
The sack
commentary
will be
could
packed.
be incredible.
Pack the sack.
All right, folks. Thank
Women's
you.
in that.
Thank you, OB, for coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
OB,
thanks,
thank
Boyette.
you.
It's a great
Thanks for coming
podcast.
Thanks for taking your time.
You're welcome. Have a great one, guys.
I'll make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night on CSPN at Chaminade. Huge game, FCC matchup. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
All right.